All right, today we're going to look at changing lights on an '08 to current Econoline. So these are the larger composite lights. This one being a 2011. We'll just jump right in. So there's a single bolt on top that is a 10mm head. We will remove that. In this case, I'm just going to loosen it. Not going to remove it all the way, so that when we take out the bottom two bolts here, we don't drop the headlight. These bottom bolts are 7mm head. Usually helps to have an extension. Okay, and then we can pull out the top bolt all the way. Depending on your bumper arrangement, be careful taking out the headlight. There's a couple of clips on the outside here, so pull straight out, and then it will come away. There are a few connections on the back, one being the headlight bulb, the upper turn signal bulb up here, and then there's a running light bulb here. These can twist about 90 degrees and the entire socket comes out. Easiest way to do it. The headlight bulb can be challenging. They like to be brittle, and oftentimes it helps to give it a very gentle pry with a screwdriver or a pry tool. Very gentle is the key word. Access is always a thing. And just take your time so that you don't have to worry about damaging the connection. Alright, so we got it. No broken clips. You press down on this top clip, and I had just put the pry tool very gently on the top, and it came out nice. Snake the light out. Come out here eventually, and then so you're good to go. So we had an upper connection here. This was this turn signal running light bulb. We had the running light side marker here. That was this one, and the headlight connection here. All right, so once you have the headlight out, we can move on to installing the relay box. This is for the LED kit. HID kit is different. That'll be covered in a different video. But what we'll do on this side here, the other side is opposite, so that these wires aren't a concern, but we'll splay these wires slightly like this. We will put it then in this pocket against the metal, and anytime you are going to screw into metal, do not take my word for it, check what's on the other side, so that we don't have problems with anything that's there. So we will then screw this in here. We'll make our single connection to there, and plug in the headlight, and we will be good. Let's get to it. Okay, so it's mounted in there now. We can make our single connection to the factory headlight bulb here. Nice good click. And then we can stuff this into here. just like that. We have our single output here. This will connect to the headlight. We'll pull this back slightly, make sure this O-ring is here. Make sure you don't lose it. And we'll then gut our light. Go for it. All right, so we're ready for the new light. We'll get it. We will we'll put it in there nice and gentle. Kind of mock it into position so we can make our connections. We have 3 of them again. We have the lower connection here. Make sure we have the O-ring. There's arrows. It's a keyed connection, so it's really only goes one way, but as with any electrical connection, if it's not smooth, it's not right. So we'll make that connection. We'll thread that together. We'll make the other 2 connections for the side bulb here and for the marker or turn signal light bulb. And then we will make sure the wires are going where we need them. Enough play, but out of the way. We will connect these outer 2 pins. There's guide pins here. Go in nice, and then once the guide pins are in, just simply push that into position. The light should be very happy in position, which it is. Then put the bolts. Keep in mind, as we took it out, the bolts are different. So you have a top bolt, has a larger flange and a larger head, and then the bottom bolt. There's 2 bottom bolts. We'll put in the top one, just kind of secure enough to hold it so that the light cannot fall. And then I always recommend that you put in these bottom bolts by hand, initially at least, to make sure that they're not cross-threaded. They're just going into metal clips in the sheet metal. Not the end of the world if they do happen to cross-thread, but it's money and it's stuff that we don't provide. So take your time and do it right. So then we'll grab our tool. Snug them up. Keep in mind it's a plastic flange, so there's no need to over torque it, otherwise that will break, and that is not a warrantable issue. Same with this upper one. And once you get that in, now it's nice and tight. And as with anything that we do, always make sure that you check them, and we'll do that next step here. All right, so now that we're all assembled, we'll test functionality. This will be white running lights, 1 click out or 1 turn, and then headlights on. High beams, make sure both work. And then while the running lights are on, enable your emergency flashers and make sure that those work and they're flashing yellow if you got the switchback kit, and you're good to go.